you're going to want to do, just make that noise over and over and over again before you ever throw your voice into it, because we're going to put some voice inflection into it here in a minute. But to get good at it, if you're struggling, you're going to want to just kind of do it over and over again. And it sounds like crap without it too. Sounds like crap without your voice. But if you put your voice at the beginning and at the end, and this time we're going to want to use your voice, and it's going to be like you're clearing your throat, like you've got phlegm in your throat. You're not growling. Some people will growl and it just doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound that natural. But if you tone it back a little bit, and just like you're kind of clearing your throat. Spikes, they're like the best, because those guys, they don't know what they are. They're like that 18-year-old kid who's like, I want to be a man, but I don't know how, and I have all these feelings down inside, and I don't know what to do with them. I keep getting kicked out of the house, and nobody likes me. Is that my mom? And, I mean, what's she doing over there? So spikes are like great. They're not real smart, and you can call them right in. Call with emotion, you know. When my brother and I first started bow hunting, he sounded like somebody was whipping a dog, like a chihuahua or something. He was sounded awful. You just have to call with some enthusiasm and with a purpose, you know what I mean? If you go out there and every call out of your tube is this, you'll hear that guy, old Doug Flutie, right? You'll hear that guy blowing his calls all day long, calling in nothing. It's the same old, sound like a recording, right? But if you go out there and don't sound that great, but you sound like you're madder than hell, well, that might just fire one up. So, and right at the end, put buzz in your lips, and then drop it octaves, and then introduce your voice. It's kind of technical. Okay. But just let's do the lip ball and the scream first, and see where that goes. Honestly, as nasty as you can make that lip ball, the better. I like it. I mean, yeah, that sounds great. And if you can get nasty with it, good. If it's dirty and nasty, good. I like it. Because there's some bulls that are just like, my God, you've heard them. I mean, they're just, wow, that's a big one. And it's a 5-point. That high note, that's when you introduce the buzz of your lips. This one's pretty tricky. It took me forever to figure it out.
Now, what is forever? Like 3 years, 7 years?
Yeah, like probably
6 months.
Well, here's what I did. I would try to do it every year, and it'd be like, that sounds like crap. Oh man, I just didn't do it right. So when I started practicing it, I said, I'm not going to make any elk sounds at all except this one until I figure it out. So I practiced all one winter, and I got it. Everything that I've picked up and learned, I've learned from the elk. I've listened to them, and then but they want to see their opponent, right? And if you're not quite showing yourself, and they've come in and they're kind of hung up for a little bit, and then they kind of bark at you, the show's not over. No, they're just saying, dude, show yourself. So a lot of times when they do that bark at me, and I know it's like, okay, that bull has called me out, he's come up here, he's exposed himself, I just have to walk a little bit to see him now. And those things will kind of walk out and show themselves. And a lot of times, sometimes regionally, it's weird, I've hunted places where bulls will go crazy early in the season, right, and 20 miles away, and maybe in the lower elevation they're going crazy early in the season, 20, 30 miles away up in the high country, you can't buy a bugle. Right. But on the 24th of September, they're just losing their mind. And you're kind of going to these different places. But you want to be able to, if you're not having any luck here, maybe there's a bunch of hunters. Maybe it's full of wolves, and bulls are not responding, or the elk are just not there. That's okay. I'm driving 50 miles this way, or 10 miles this way, or whatever. I'm going to relocate until I can find that pocket of elk that want to fight. Yes, sir.
If you're calling the early season, like August, you're just trying to get the bulls to come in silent or something, do you stick to mainly cow calls, or like what do you do in your experience?
So if, let's say you don't want to do either one of the plans I've talked about. Maybe you're talking about like a cold calling scenario, like I know there's elk here, there's tracks everywhere. I'm gonna just set up and do some calling. Maybe a quiet one will come into me. That works good too. I've done that a lot too. So what you want to do is you're painting a picture now. You're painting a picture in that elk's mind's eye, right? You're gonna begin with a few quiet cow calls, and you're gonna wait, and then you're gonna give a few more cow calls, and then you're gonna wait, and then this period is gonna stretch 10, 15 minutes of the cow call, and then pretty soon you're gonna start getting real aggressive with your cow calls. Like, man, I'm ready to breed, and I want every bull to know it. And then once you kind of do that, you're gonna wait a little bit, and then you're gonna introduce a bull, like a bull call, like a bugle. Not a big aggressive one, just a normal bugle. And then things are gonna kind of slowly ramp up from there. There's gonna be lots of aggressive cow calling, and your bull calls are gonna get more aggressive. So you might paint this picture over a 20 or 30 minute period, and then you're gonna let it go quiet. But when you let it go quiet, you're looking at the wind and you're gonna say, okay, the wind's blowing this way. I'm gonna go downwind a ways, maybe 50 yards, or 30 yards, whatever the terrain allows, and wherever you think the elk are gonna come from, because you don't want them to come, they will come right to where you were calling, right, and be looking. So you wanna kind of go over here and lay in wait. You might give it 30 minutes to an hour, hanging out, if that's the game you wanna play. It works good, but a lot of times those elk come in on high alert. They're just like, they're sneaking in and checking things out, and I don't want to get beat up. I just want to see what's going on over here. A lot of those raghorn bulls will come in like that. But sometimes a big bull will come in too. Just you never know. But I hate calling silent elk though, because it seems like you're playing their game instead of them playing your game.
More pre-rut. It sounded like what you were talking about, right? Bulls haven't established their herd yet.
Mm-hmm.
In those cold calling sequence setups, have you had more success trying to mimic, 10, 15 cow herd, or a lone cow that's maybe just about to go into estrus, like she's starting to get hot? In your personal experience, what have you had most success with on?
I try to sound like I'm as many cows as I can.
Are you? You're moving around. You're making some noise.
Yeah,
right?
I'm stomping
you're
brush,
stomping, you're making elk
picking
sounds.
up rocks, and throwing them over here, and popping branches, and yeah, I'm making a bunch of noise. You gotta be careful. They will catch you with your pants down.
Somewhat depending on the vegetation and
Yeah.
what type of cover you have.
Yeah, if you got a buddy, send him downwind. 50 yards, 30 yards, whatever. I'm using one of these bite and blow calls too, quite a bit, just to throw out, just to have more different sounds, because more is better, right? More cows, more opportunity.
Sure.
Cow call, I want a bugle. I don't want to have to all right, I made a cow call with this one, I got this one that's a medium cow, and I got one that's a bugle. I don't want to have to reach back and forth. I want one. I put the one I'm using, I put that thing right there. That way I can just go like this. If I try not to carry in my mouth because I chew them up, right? I chew them up and they don't last. So I do that. And now I know I got cow calls, bull calls, anything I want to do with it. This year I went through 3 of these. I've used all sorts of different calls in the past. Other brands I've gone through like 10 in a year one time. This last year this is the first year I've hunted with this call, and I went through 3.